Hey YouTube, Always Post 1975. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of my Japanese Megadrive childhood game collection. I'm down to my last 5 games, and there's a specific reason that 2 of them are in this section, because they do have the honour of being the very final 2 games I bought for my Japanese Megadrive. So let's crack straight into this. The first game I want to talk about is Zero Wing. I won't spend too much time on this game side, because obviously if you watch my most important pickup video ever, you know that this pretty much in this collection became my white whale. What's to say about Zero Wing? It's an absolutely fantastic shooter. I mean, there's so many great shooters on the Mega Drive, but this definitely stands out. Is this my favourite? It is literally a toss-up between this and Hellfire, but this has got that amazing mechanic when you can suck an enemy ship onto the front of yours. There is a random tangent I want to go on about with this game, which is it's another game I bought from the in-shops in Bedminster, which was, you know, even back then in 88, 89, 90, had an import selection of Japanese games. There was also an in-shops in Weston-super-Mare that I've mentioned before, which is where I ended up buying my Japanese Rambo 3. If I stop to think about it, that was a really, really important shop of my childhood, because I bought so many games there. I bought this there. I bought Assault Suit Lenos there. I bought the next game I want to talk about, which is Herzog Zwei there. There's another game in this video I want to talk about, which is Wonder Boy. I bought that there. I bought Eastwat there. I bought Darius there. What else did I buy there? I think that's it. I mean, I bought quite... Bearing in mind that every other game I bought, I had to either, you know, import, or they were PAL ones, or a couple of Genesis. I bought so many games there. I mean, yeah, it only really just dawned on me what's an important shop. Then if you stop to think about it, as I said, I bought Rambo 3 in Weston-super-Mare, and I bought Spider-Man in the Moller shop downtown. So, you know, may not sound like a big deal, but at least 1/4 of my game collection back in the day, I actually bought, you know, from the stores. Anyway, sorry, waffling. Let's go to the next game. As I said, I bought this from the in-shop as well. Herzog Zwei. Now, this is an absolutely brilliant, groundbreaking game. I talk about it in the Pass Along a Gem video where Ben Shenmuzo tagged me, but it's kind of groundbreaking because it was a very sort of early real-time strategy game. 2 players, you know, simultaneously, where you compete against each other. You've got a plane that transforms into a robot. You've got ground troops. You buy, you know, equipment and stuff like that. Amazing game. It's a very, very underrated title. I remember I paid 20 quid for it, so I guess technically it was a budget game back in the day. And it's interesting because at first it was a little daunting, but I persevered and I got the hang of it. And me and my older brother, Jason, used to just play this for absolutely hours, head to head with each other. This is a love, but at the same time, it's kind of a chore. You know, possibly listen to the advice of your elders. But yeah, Wonder Boy 5 Monster World 3. Look at that for Spankaroony artwork. Lovely. Now, if you're familiar with Wonder Boy Monsterland, you'll know that, yeah, it's possibly not a game you want to play in Japanese. But I remember I bought this because I saw it in the in-shops. I think it was 30 quid, and I was so disappointed with the arcade 3rd installment that was a shooter, especially after, obviously, the Master System version was so much superior, that when I saw this, you know, I had to have it. I absolutely had to have it. And I do remember my mum looked at me and she just went, "You do know it's in Japanese, right?" And I was like, "Don't tell me what to do, you aren't the boss of me." Well, you are the boss of me, you're my mum. But I was just like, "Oh please, my entire game collection's in Japanese. I think I can handle it." Oh my god. Now, you got to remember, this is pre-internet and everything. I did eventually complete this, but basically it was one long, extremely painful, you know, episode of trial and error. Big notepad next to me, just basically fumbling in the dark, fudging my way as I went along. But I was determined to beat it, and you know, I did enjoy it, but just the fact that it was Japanese and a proper, you know, chore kind of yeah, detracted somewhat from the experience. It's funny, I guess technically you could say that this is the game that taught me the importance of patience, and I don't mean the song by Guns N' Roses. So you can buy a PAL version, and I do really, really recommend picking up the PAL version instead of this. I mean, it means a lot to me because it was a childhood game, but yeah, it was a painful experience. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it in a heartbeat, but it certainly was a painful experience. I might get the PAL release, or you know, even the Genesis version, just to experience it in English. Now we're down to my final two games, and these were, as I said, the last two games I bought on my Mega Drive. First one is Virtua Racing. This is an incredible port of the arcade machine. What is this? This is 1994. They introduced a new chip, didn't they? The Sega Virtual Processor, and it's proper full polygons, you know. And I don't mean like hard driving, which in itself I always found impressive. I mean, this is absolutely through the roof impressive for a Mega Drive title, extra chip or not. The only disappointing thing is that we never got to see any other games with that, you know, additional chip, which is a shame, because obviously they released it to compete with the Super Effects chip on the SNES. Is it more powerful? I don't know. I'm personally going to say that I think this graphically is far superior to anything I've seen on the Super Effects chip, but that's just me. Look at that for a beast of a cartridge, mind. It's huge, and that's what she said, sorry. But yeah, look at it. I don't know if that means that the chip itself is massive, but yeah. It's a brilliant game. It's absolutely brilliant. Obviously, you know, the 32X version, you know, is superior, but you've got to remember, as I said, extra chip or not, this is running on a Mega Drive, and that's in itself incredibly impressive. What's even more impressive is when I re-picked this up, it was sealed, and I paid £2 for it. So yeah, get yourself a copy of this. It's a proper bargain, yeah. Final game. This is a very interesting one. The final game is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Look at that for funky box art, mind. Now, as you know, my original Sonic was a power release, even though it plays at 60 Hz because of the dual ROM thing on a Mega Drive. I never picked up Sonic 2 at the time. I don't know why. It just didn't interest me, despite the fact that I loved the original so much. And kind of in the back of my mind at this point, I knew that I was probably going to sell my Mega Drive. I wish I didn't. I wish I could travel back in time, slap myself in the face and say, hang on to all this shit, because you have no idea how much money you're going to spend, you know, 20 odd years from now piecing this back together. But yeah, I knew in my mind that I was going to sell it, so I thought, why not go out on a high? Why not, you know, go out with the flagship character? Sonic 3 is a brilliant game. It kind of gets overlooked, I think. I think most people, or so I've heard, consider the second one a superior game. Also, didn't they split this across this and Sonic and Knuckles, because weren't they supposed to be the same game? But yeah, I absolutely love and adore this game. It was my swan song, I guess, for the Mega Drive, so brilliant. I absolutely love it. Now, there is technically one more game, I should say, and that would be my game. The Lawn Boys Post 1975 game. It's exclusive. It's exclusive in the fact that only I have it. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. So there you go. That's the last of my Japanese Mega Drive games. Now, I do have another sort of 12 titles, and it's a real mixed bag. There's some Power ones, there's a couple of Genesis. There is one Japanese game, but the reason I didn't include it in this was it wasn't part of my childhood. It was a donation from someone. So if you would like to see me kind of just do one more video and just kind of round up everything I have, just simply because then it's kind of, that's my Mega Drive collection completely covered, done and dusted, you know, then let me know. But I have to say, I really enjoyed making these videos. You know, this collection's been 2 years in the process, and it's meant a great deal to me, and I've really enjoyed the fact that I got such positive feedback from this, and people have enjoyed watching it and listened to me just waffle an epic amount about random rubbish in memories from my childhood. So I would just like to say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you later.